But from the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
I think a force for good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
I think a force for good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
I think pain that moves around, that's migratory, like, gosh, I was sore here for a couple days and now I'm sore here for a couple days. Like, migratory pain seems to be less concerning and less serious. Something that's persistent, pain that lasts more than 2 weeks, pain that seems to be resistant to other things like ice, rest, that's concerning. And anything that makes you limp is not okay. There's something wrong if you're limping. If you can't bear your own body weight on your legs, something's not right.
Youth Hockey Hub presents Friday Night Ice, brought to you by Tradition Companies. Top teams facing off in big games under the lights. Friday Night Ice, the state of hockey's newest tradition.
Welcome everyone to Bloomington Ice Garden for your first ever broadcast of Friday Night Ice. I'm Allie Mosley here, joined alongside with Tony Scott, founder and publisher of Youth Hockey Hub. Tony, this is so great being here tonight. We are kicking off the season for high school hockey. We've got Cretin-Derham Hall tonight versus St. Thomas Academy, but before we dive deep into everything, tell us a little bit about what Friday Night Ice is and what viewers can expect to come.
Well, it all kind of started a couple years ago. Jake Ennebeck, one of the partners at Tradition Companies, came to me and said, let's do something better than a camera going back and forth and maybe some commercials. Let's build an experience for high school hockey athletes. Let's give them a hockey day experience, but not outside and 20 below. And I said, I think I can pull it off. And slowly but surely, we got the teams, we got the team, and we're ready to go. I've been working on this thing for over a year, and to see it actually happen, I'm the happiest man in this building right now.
It is truly great for just these teams, the communities, these schools. We're looking forward to this so much. But let's get into it, Tony. Starting off with Cretin-Derham Hall. This is a team who made it to the state tournament last year. They lost in the third place game, but despite that loss, they had a very impressive season at 24-5. Now, 2 of those losses came to St. Thomas Academy.
Yeah, they lost once here in the opener and again over at St. Thomas Academy. You know what? They had an awesome season last year. They made a run through to the state tournament, but they were number 1 the whole year. The only disappointing loss besides the St. Thomas was the first round against Alex Bump, who had the 5-goal game. They want more. They want to get back safe, but they want more than that this year.
You know, it was this exact same game last year that St. Thomas won 4-3. Can we expect a close one here again tonight?
Well, for sure. It's like one of those Packer-Vikings things. Throw the records, throw it all out because it's going to be crazy, right? But also, both times we've had this game twice here in the last 3 years. Every time St. Thomas comes back from a Cretin lead, I think we're going to see a lot of the same stuff this year.
Probably. Now, Tony, despite the Raiders' success the last couple of seasons, there's a little bit of an unsettling stat that you know is at the forefront of every Cretin player's mind here coming into tonight's game. Our own Mike Greenlay has more.
January 28, 2014, Cretin-Derham Hall beat St. Thomas Academy 4-3. Junior Nick Reese scored with 59 seconds left to secure an important win in the famous CDH-STA rivalry. The victory on that chilly Tuesday night marked the last time the Raiders would beat the Cadets in 8 tries. Senior class after senior class has signed off at CDH without at least one win over their neighborhood rivals.
A little nerves, but more like channel that, some revenge. Gotta beat these guys. I didn't know the stat coming in until next year that we hadn't beat them in 8 years, so.
You don't have like a hatred for the school, but you really want to beat these guys, and among the student body, it's kind of like a bragging right for your sport to be like that team that beat STA or beat them handily.
The thing about the rivalry is just everybody's home. And so to have it over Thanksgiving break, everybody marks that on their calendar, and you have your day with your family on Thursday, and then you come back to your Raider family or your Cadet family, and you go to that game. And everybody's wearing purple or blue.
Big was just packed, and you go on the ice and you just can't feel your body, can't even think because it's so loud, and it was just pushed you right into it. This is crazy.
Just chills ran down my body. I mean, I've never heard a place so loud in my life. I mean, we were at the X last year, but that I felt was quieter than games against STA.
As the rivalry grows older, the names of the players and coaches may change, but the feelings between the schools stay the same.
For me, the rivalry's always been there. It's been about a St. Paul rivalry, two Catholic schools that have a strong respect for each other, but during those 4 years when you attend those two institutions, it's all about beating the other one.
Streaks are meant to be broken. If it is broken tonight, who will be the Raiders' next Nick Reese?
See, I know a lot of guys on that roster just because, like, where I train in the summer, I train at MAP, it's a lot of STA guys, it's their home rink, and we've gotten pretty close, but I think when Friday night comes, we kind of just zone that all out and just play to win. Be a dream come true if I could be Nick Reese on Friday night.
Welcome back to Bloomington Ice Garden for the season opener between Cretin-Derham Hall and St. Thomas Academy. This is a rivalry really shaping up to be a good one in this game here tonight. Tony, let's dive into St. Thomas Academy. Now, they appear to have Cretin's number, but last year they really had kind of a mediocre season at 13-13.
That's awful, I would say, is what it is for them. They're used to a state tournament, section final. They lost in the section semis to Eastview last year. They have a lot of thought to prove for this season.
Absolutely, but they come into this one having beaten Cretin twice last year. So tell me this, do they come in with a heightened sense of confidence in this one?
St. Thomas Academy kids come to the school with a lot of confidence. So overconfidence is something that they've dealt with their entire lives. They're great athletes. This is basically an all-star team. Both teams are great teams. That's why they're continuously in the top 10.
St. Thomas Academy graduates 12 seniors. Does that shake things up a little bit? Is it going to be an inexperienced team, or is this a team that knows how to win and compete in a big game like tonight?
These kids will know exactly what to do given the situation. I think one of the biggest issues, we'll get to this later, is who can deal with this crowd, because the crowd is different than any crowd that they'll deal with, including the XL Energy Center. This is going to be loud.
When you think about this rivalry, how big is this game to start off, to kick off the season between these two squads?
They know it. They got alums back here. They have their parents, grandparents, all their classmates are here. They know it. They've had this thing circled since the schedule came out.
Now, of course, one of the biggest and most important changes for the Cadets this season is the fact that they bring in new head coach, the legendary 32-year head coach over at Duluth East, Mike Randolph. Now, Mike, he is third winningest coach of all time in the state of Minnesota for high school hockey. He's already in the MSHSL's Coaches Hall of Fame. He talked earlier with our Mike Greenlay with a nice little story that we're going to have on him being the new head coach for St. Thomas Academy.
Originally founded in 1885 by St. Paul Diocese Archbishop John Ireland, St. Thomas Academy has evolved through several stages before assuming its current role as an all-boys independent military institution. Likewise, new head hockey coach Mike Randolph has learned to reinvent himself in a new role after departing the bench at Duluth East, his post of over 30 years.
This is a special school with special student athletes. The combination of St. Thomas Academy with hockey or any sport here, a special combination.
I've always seen Randolph on TV and stuff, at the tourney and everything like that. And when I was a Pee Wee AA my second year, the state tournament was in Duluth, and he spoke at the banquet, and I heard him speak there. Once it was announced that he was going to coach here, and it was holy crap, this guy's second ever, third ever in wins. And
as associate head coach during the 2021-22 season, Randolph made his mark as a prominent presence on the cadets varsity and junior varsity benches.
He was the guy I always went to, no matter what drill, game, no matter what we were doing. I always went to him, asked him for tips, little tricks on the drills, just what I was supposed to do exactly. He's just always been there since day one.
Now in his first season as the undisputed bench boss, Randolph has brought his signature bruising style of play and his unique cell phone policy to the St. Thomas Academy campus.
It's pretty simple, no phones. They take them on the road, they put them in a bag, I keep the bag by me, I put it in my room. So I want them to get to know each other, because if they had their phones, that's all they do, is be on their phones. So, no phones.
This weekend we had no phones the whole trip. That was an interesting experience, but I think it was good for us to bond with everyone, and instead of everyone just staring down at their phones the whole time.
Armed with a talented young lineup and primed to play a new brand of hockey, Randolph envisions his tenure with the cadet program as a potentially fruitful partnership for years to come.
Success for me is a team becoming a team, playing for each other, caring about each other, because if you don't have that, you're going nowhere.
From the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
A force for good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and develop pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back to Bloomington Ice Garden. Allie Mosley here alongside with Tony Scott. Now, We are here with the kickoff to the season, and these teams have been preparing all off-season for this particular matchup. But at first, we've got Raiders head coach Matt Funk in his 4th year as head coach for the Raiders, but he has never beaten St. Thomas Academy in his time as head coach. Moments ago, he spoke with our Peter Odney.
We've got head coach of the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders here, Matt Funk. Coach Funk, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
All right, this game, away from the ice, this happens to be a wonderful advertisement for St. Paul-centric Catholic school hockey. What can you tell me about the traditions of these two programs?
Yeah, I'll tell you that this rivalry goes deep, way back. The campuses are changed. There's just one St. Paul school now. The other one moved out over the other side of the river. You know, what we're going to do today is just give our fans a show and really show them what true St. Paul hockey is all about.
You took a job over the summer as the athletic director at Cretin-Derham Hall. You used to work at Target. You've been wrapped up in this all week leading up to tonight. Has that changed your approach to this game at all, being in the thick of it with the students?
Yeah, I think, you know, the hockey job started just a week ago for me, but we had, you know, Pep Fest for our girls swim and dive team that went to the state tournament. We've had a lot of energy in our building all year long, but this one has a special meaning for our student body, and I think they're really excited for it.
Everybody's really excited for it. That's head coach Matt Funk, the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders.
From the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back to Friday Night Ice pregame show, where we could sit here and really sing the praises of legendary head coach Mike Randolph in his new spot as the new head coach for St. Thomas Academy. But can he continue the win streak here tonight under his role as head coach? Our Peter Odney had the pregame interview.
St. Thomas Academy head coach Mike Randolph. Mike, thanks for being here tonight. Thank you. All righty, getting right into it. You and your cadets have beaten the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders 8 straight times. How do you avoid overdoing it on the confidence going into this game?
First of all, I was not part of that.
I'm going to give you credit for him anyway.
So, thanks. But guys don't talk about it. They know it's a great rivalry, and we expect nothing but the best from them, and hopefully we'll give them a game tonight.
You know, take a look at St. Thomas's roster. A lot of young guns, a lot of young talent on that roster. But how much are you going to rely on your senior leadership, your senior captains, to keep everybody level going into tonight?
Well, that's very important tonight. And but we're really anxious to see and get started and to see where we're at against a great opponent.
We're all excited to see it too. This has been Mike Randolph, head coach, St. Thomas Academy Cadets. We're here with St. Thomas.
It was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club. Basically, it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back to the season opener here at Bloomington Ice Garden, as we've got Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders facing off their friendly foe, St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Now, Tony, as we look forward to tonight, what are some of the keys to the game that are going to be important in this one?
Well, I think it's kind of an offense-defense type of hockey game. St. Thomas will be more defense-oriented. Cretin wants to get up and down the ice. So that'll be the first thing you'll notice. If it's a 3-3 game in the first period, Coach Funk will be happy. He'll be smiling, and Coach Randolph will be breaking clipboards, right? That'll be the first kind of difference, the nuance we want to find. And I think for St. Thomas, we talked about it earlier in the show, is St. Thomas has a great set of talent and a great coach. But can you piece all of that together in 8 days? That'll be really interesting to see. And then finally, for Cretin, it's obvious. St. Thomas is their kryptonite. And can they get over that kind of hump when they're talking about beating St. Thomas? You can see the look in these kids' eyes when we met them this week. They're nervous about this game. Excited, but very nervous, that's for sure.
And Tony, when it comes to a rivalry game like this, how much do emotions play into a big one like this?
It's a key for both teams. Because there are kids on this St. Thomas team, a lot of these kids are playing their first game ever, their first varsity game. They've been planning for this their whole career, and now they got to do it in front of like 2,000 people on statewide television. There's people watching this game from all over the state. So there's a lot of pressure on the first-timers on both teams, but mostly St. Thomas. They got a lot of newbies coming in today.
These fans are rolling in. They are getting set. That is enough breakdown from us on this game tonight. Will Cretin-Derham Hall break that 8-game losing streak here tonight? It's the Cadets versus the Raiders coming up next.
Get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Hey, pleasant good evening to you from Bloomington Ice Garden. The Friday Night Ice makes its debut, and tonight we have two teams looking to reload, St. Thomas Academy and Cretin-Derham Hall. Jeff Pappas with you with a call tonight. I'm joined by the 14-year color voice of the Minnesota Wild, Mr. Mike Greenlay. Nice to have you here.
It's great to be here, and I love working with hockey legends because the job's so much easier that way. So I'm glad to be alongside you.
Thank you very kindly. It'll be a fun night tonight. Two teams are traditionally very skilled, high levels of play, but a lot of new faces this year on opening night. It makes it for an interesting matchup.
What I find interesting in conversations with both head coaches this past week, they're both managing expectations early, not because they don't think they have good teams, but because they don't want to lay it all on the line on day number one. They want to see their players come out, have energy, have the effort that they expect, and kind of go from there. And so we'll see if, I'm pretty sure both these teams will be pretty fired up.
I would expect so. It is the head coaching debut tonight for Mike Randolph as the coach of St. Thomas Academy. Of course, it's hardly a debut for him. 500 career wins, 32 years at Duluth East, 2 state championships. Yep. But some things they just say. Some things, the more things older they get, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, you know what? Although, it's interesting in conversations with him, a lot of the things that he's experienced so far are actually new. And so when you get a guy that's been in the business, I guess you say, for that long, it's incredible to listen to them kind of tell you stories about things, and we'll go through some of them during this game, but some things to them that are kind of new and new experiences is all, the old dog and new tricks, all that jazz, right?
That's what I was looking for. But Mike Randolph, yes, making his debut tonight. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, he faces his old team. Duluth East comes down here to take on.
That'll be fun.
Yes, it certainly will. And they take on a Cretin-Derham Hall team that won 24 games a season ago. Section 3 AA champions, but they only returned 4 of their top 10 scorers and none of their goaltending from last year.
And that's a big key. I mean, we all know that depending on the level you're at, and it seems like the further you go here, the more a goaltender can make a difference. And there's no doubt that in high school hockey, if you got a goaltender that can hold the fort and stay away from the trappings of pressure and all that, then you're going to find yourself in a good standing. But having said that, this is where you make your bones, right? So maybe the next superstar goaltender is developing right now, and we don't know it yet.
We'll find out. Marco Bilak, of course, the goaltender for Cretin last year, 23 wins, 182 goals against average, and 3 shutouts as St. Thomas Academy takes the ice, and this place is going to be loud.
I love it, and so do they. That's one thing these, the more people you can put these kids in front of, I think the more energy you get out of them.
Now, tell me about rivalries a little bit, and where when you grew up in Canada, did you have local rivalries like this? What was it like for you as a player?
Well, being in smaller cities in Canada, they used to just split our cities in quadrants rather than being representative of a high school, just because our high schools weren't big enough to support a full team. And so you still have it, the Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, Northwest, and whatever the respective names were, you'd always know who you're playing. And there's also rivalries outside the city core, kids that lived in areas that were surrounding, that they would pull teams together. And so, you knew who you liked and who you didn't like. And I'm sure these kids know the same thing.
Oh yeah, these teams, they play on traveling teams together. They play through the Pee-wees, the Bantams, all of those, the youth levels, and they get up here, and next thing you know, you're suddenly wearing a different colored uniform, but you know the person across the ice from you.
You know what, I forgot to share with the few players that we talked to that, I don't know, in about 10 to 15 years, you're just going to be skating around with all each other like old fat guys, in the beer league. So you'll all be buddies eventually, but these are the stories that they'll sit there and talk about.
It's not right now.
Yeah, hope not. Hope they're not big fat guys now.
No. All right, St. Thomas Academy lining up in the home white to our left, and let's get to Robin Cook, the public address announcer for the starting lineups.
And the inaugural version of Friday Night Ice, featuring the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders of the Suburban East Conference and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets of the Metro East. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall. Starting in goal, number 35, Leo Miller. Starting on defense, number 21, Colton Jameson. Starting on defense, number 10, Lucas Cernahouse. Starting at forward, number 7, Devin Cardenas. Starting at forward, number 15, Attila Lapai. And starting at center, number 18, Jake Fisher. Now let's welcome out the rest of the Raiders. The Raiders are coached by Matt Funk. And now the starting lineup for tonight's home team, the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Starting in goal, number 30, Tyler Magosi. Starting on defense, number 13, Patch Cronin. Starting on defense, number 27, Brody Dietz. Starting at forward, number 21, Zach Howard. Starting at forward, number 19, Max Condon. And starting at center, number 14, Tommy Cronin. Now let's welcome out the rest of the cadets. The cadets are coached by Mike Randolph. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now ask that you please rise as you are able and remove your caps for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Here at Bloomington Ice Gardens, and like as you look at the goaltenders tonight, Tyler Magosi to the left, 7 games last year, and you look at Leo Miller making a varsity debut tonight, especially in a game like this tonight. How important is that first 2-3 minutes for him?
Well, for the young fella who hadn't played any yet, or at least very, very little. The first few pucks, he's got to field them well, and just get a little bit of confidence under his skin. Not having played very much at all because they had a rock star goaltender that they went to all the time. That's going to be a little bit different for Cretin. But like I said, here's where you kind of make your bones, and maybe you get that confidence going a little bit earlier than normal. And then for Magosi down with the cadets, he's had a taste. He's seen what the speed is. He's seen what the shots look like. So he just needs to find a way to pick up from that.
All right, Magosi last season 3-4, 3.66 goals against average, and 84% save percentage, no shutouts. But none of that matters now. What matters is what lies before us for the next 51 minutes. Fisher will take the face-off for Cretin-Derham Hall against Tommy Cronin. Probably the two best players on the ice going at it snoot to snoot right on the opening draw. Cretin-Derham Hall working right to left as we call the first period for you, and we're underway. Cernahouse controlling, and he drops it back in his zone. Now here's Attila Lepai ahead to Fisher. He puts on the brakes, backhanded centering pass. Cardenas drops it, comes to the circle, throws across. Now here's Jameson at the left point, takes a shot off the traffic and past Cernahouse and back out to center.
Well, the emotions are very apparent here early. The energy is pretty quick, and we'll see how they react to that as we move along into this period, but a good pace so far.
All right, here's Fisher over the line. Cardenas on his left, puts on the brakes, and then his pass doesn't find Cardenas in front, and is picked up by Cronin, and back comes St. Thomas Academy. It's Tommy Cronin. There are two now. Patch Cronin, the sophomore defenseman in the starting lineup. It goes around on the boards on the far side to Will Dosen, the sophomore, number 9. Now cleared to the right point. It's going to be held in there. A shot through traffic. Actually does not get through the traffic from Sean Burns. And it'll be the Raiders playing it ahead from their own side of center. And that will be icing with 59 seconds gone in the first period.
Well, we've already seen a one block shot, and I think you're going to see both teams, just with the style of coaching that we have on both benches, they're going to expect a little sacrifice here and there. So those shots are going to have to be quick, low, and hard in order to get through, because otherwise there's going to be plenty of guys sacrificing to knock those down.
Kickoff from the face-off. Lost possession for St. Thomas Academy. Cleared around on the far side. Now Cardenas can't clear it. It's lying loose in the slot. Blocker pad save, and there's number 1 for Leo Miller. And he directs it off to the corner, and we're going to get a stoppage in play.
Well, the confidence save. Yeah. It wasn't from, the triangle of death or anything, but it was a good hard shot, and he handled it in a confident manner, and that's one thing you got to look for earlier. I mean, you start juggling pucks and everything early and bobbling them, then the coach says, "Hey guys, pay attention."
Brody Dietz playing it ahead on the left from the draw, and here comes Tommy Cubas, number 7 for St. Thomas Academy, and it runs all the way back into the cadets zone. Back for it is Patch Cronin, and he feeds it up the wall, but they can't get out. Reverse back behind the goal, and Dietz there, junior defender, cleared to the high slot, and it's going to be held in by Sylvester Lepai, number 25. Attila wears number 15, and if there's two better named brothers in the state, I couldn't think of them, I'll tell you that. And now up in the high slot, it's picked up there by Max Bennett, but he can't get a shot away. And out to center comes Peter Murray. Lost in a line change. Everybody changing now, and here come the Raiders over the line, and that is Charlie Cantwell, number 5, playing it across into the slot, picked off there by Camden for St. Thomas Academy. Max Camden to Howard, and Zach Howard down the right wing playing it in. It'll ring the boards and wind up in the right corner. After it there, Terrell Olson falling down, and now comes to the left point. St. Thomas Academy working it around. They free to the high slot, and a shot winds up going wide from Mario Savino, number 5, the defender. And now Savino holds it in at the left point. Backhands one ahead off the wall. Played ahead by Tommy Cronin. Behind the net, players from both teams after it. Now it comes to the near corner. And St. Thomas Academy again in charge. And there's a pass blocked by Burns. And an interference penalty coming, and that's a good penalty to take, really.
Well, it's insult to injury, really, because his shot was blocked. It didn't pick his head up quick enough. So his shot gets blocked, and he says, well, if I don't take this guy down, he's off to the races. So, yeah, I guess good penalty to take after maybe not a great play. But, And sometimes you have to clean up a little bit for yourself, but it's going to cost them a power play.
St. Thomas Academy burns interference, 2:50 of the first period. Power play coming up for Cretin-Derham Hall, and last year you took your life in your hands if you took a penalty against that crew. Their power play nearly 40% last season. Here's Simon Hogue, number 8, in the high slot. Hogue now goes beside the net, and we'll see the skill level on this power play. They play 4 forwards. Fisher feeds it over to the right side. And now Cardenas behind the goal, centering it. Winds up against the wall. Cardenas in to help out. And now they lose the puck, and it's cleared. So a good start to this penalty kill for St. Thomas Academy. Hogue behind the goal. Come out the near side. The first 30 seconds gone. Hogue leaves a drop. And Cardenas will carry over the line. Devin Cardenas to Fisher. Working against the boards. And he is going to be taken into the wall by Tommy Cronin. Puck coming free. Attila Lepai in to help out. And now Lepai trying to fish it out. Puck picked up and cleared the length of the ice by Dietz. And we're halfway through the power play. Here's Hogue behind the goal. Halfway through, Hogue picked up by Jordan Tashney at center ice. He leaves a drop pass. And carrying on Fisher. He's over the line. Fisher peels away. Now a little saucer pass, and that hops Hogue and comes back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. And we're down to 40 seconds in the power play. Fisher, a 52-point scorer a year ago, 23 goals, 29 assists. Not bad for an underclassman, certainly, as we pick our way to center ice, and the puck is shot on into the zone. It'll ring behind the net, and cutting it off there is Magosi. Now picked up along the near wall by Nate Chorlton. Oh, he centers it, and Owens couldn't get a good shot away. Chuck Owens, senior center. Now Owens behind the goal.
That just came off the heel of his stick because he was point blank with a one-time opportunity, and he just fanned on it.
Here's Kickhoffel into the zone. Penalty nearly over. 4 seconds to go in it. And now behind the net, Owens in to help out as Burns steps on, and St. Thomas Academy at full strength. They got a whistle. They got a penalty coming against the Raiders. And I think Fisher. It's a cross-check. It's not Fisher. It's Chuck Owens.
Well, I think he's still frustrated with missing that one-time opportunity in front of the net. It would have been the best opportunity for either team in this period. He was point blank, and he fanned on it. Probably still thinking about it when he got mixed up in the corner there.
Hockey players never let that stuff go to their heads, do they?
Well, it makes him crabbier. So it may not be a direct result, but sometimes it leads to it.
Miller saves from Zach Howard as the power play starts. And it's power play number 1 for St. Thomas Academy. Cadets, kind of an un-St. Thomas-like season last year, 13-13-1. And a new look for him. Here's Cronin over the line. Tommy Cronin to the high slot, peels back, now feeds it to Dietz, gets it back on a return. It's a broken stick in the right circle as the goalie looks at it. It's shot all the way down the ice. Now they get a chance to clean up. Well, they won't either. They'll leave it there. Now behind the net, St. Thomas Academy will set up. Here's Dietz. Pass to the left. And picked up there by Jake Faith, number 2. There's a shot and a stick save made, swatted down out of the air. And then it is played past Cubas at the right point and out to center ice. Now back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Cernahouse goes after it. He golfs it around on the boards, mostly stopped there, but not entirely. And the puck now behind the net. 50 seconds remaining in the penalty. Cernahouse reversing again, and this time he does find a way out. Comes out to center ice, and that's Patch Cronin. To the right, Cubas back to Cronin. 38 in the power play as the sevens come together. He and Devin Cardenas, who's been known to be feisty from time to time. Shot saved, a rebound off Miller, comes to the right boards and now cleared all the way down the ice. Now controlled at center, and Hogue will shoot it in. 20 seconds to go in the power play. There's a collision behind the net. One there by Somweber. Now up the shot, up the slot rather, and Hogue has a shot go off the traffic. Getting ahead of myself as Lepai goes into the corner. Attila Lepai coming out, doing the grunt work there. Now he takes a hard hit, but does play it out to center as Cretin-Derham Hall comes back to full strength. We played 7 minutes of the first period. Shots are 3-2 for St. Thomas Academy. No score on the board as the puck played all the way down the ice, and that'll be icing against Cretin-Derham Hall.
Well, both these teams had a good look at a power play, although I would say that Cretin-Derham Hall had a better opportunities.
We're going to take a break here from Bloomington Ice Garden.
From the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
Generally speaking, water is a better fluid to use to rehydrate with. A big part of the importance of hydration is hydrating before the race rather than during the race. So, the hydration before a long distance race in particular really starts the day before the race, probably almost 24 to 36 hours before the race to be completely hydrated.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Face off to Leo Miller's right, 9:54 to go in the first period. No score, and the draw controlled by the Raiders. Now winds up behind the net. Trey Gannett's going after number 2. Now winds up in the far corner. Gannett's banks it ahead. Kickoff threw it across, and it came all the way through to the near side boards. And Cretin-Derham Hall trying to get out of the zone the old-fashioned way. Now behind the net, centering pass, and the Cadets got control. Here's a shot from the high slot that doesn't get through from Patch Cronin, and I think you're right that this year how you're going to get a shot through this defense is going to be problematic.
Well, and he did the right thing. The defenseman made a quick move before he shot it, so it wasn't like he was just stationary. I mean, Cronin just went to his left and tried to just feed that through, but Cretin-Derham Hall is, to their credit, saying, well, we got a young goaltender there that doesn't have a ton of experience. We're going to knock down the ones from the slot, and we got the rest of them.
High play at neutral ice is played past Burns and into the St. Thomas Academy zone. Tommy Cronin after it. Savino behind the goal. Puck fed up the left wing, and now here's an outlet pass that's off the traffic. It'll slow them up a little bit. Now they shoot it on into the zone. Going after it for the Raiders is Luke Charlton behind the defense. Now a body check in front of the net, which the referees admire, and now over the line it's poked away from Colton Jamieson, played back into the zone, and Burns turns it, stolen away. Here's a chance right on. Oh, good read by Chuck Owens. He came in and almost in too deep to shoot, but he put it in the goaltender's chest.
Well, it looks like Owens is going to be a significant menace to the Cadets in this hockey game. He's had a couple point-blank chances and taken a penalty, so he's going to be on the score sheet one way or the other.
Play behind the net, and as they tried to set up Owens in front, now in the left corner, Max Anderson, number 17 for Cretin-Derham Hall. Freshman forward with some size to him. Now it's loose at the top of the left circle, and it's picked up by Charlton. Played rink wide. Charlton behind the net, looking to come out. Goes back behind the goal, and now Cretin-Derham Hall starting to buzz. The centering pass is picked off, and here comes Tasheny down the wing. Tasheny tries to angle towards the middle and winds up going into the zone. He goes into the boards against Devin Cardenas. The puck now bouncing back out to center ice, and Cretin-Derham Hall is changing. Over the line they come, and that looked offside to me.
Yeah, me too. I was looking at you, and you didn't put your hand up, so.
Well, Just great minds think alike, right?
They just don't listen to the broadcasters, I guess.
No, not as much as they should. Here's a long pass down the near wing, a little too far for Attila Lepai. No icing. And going back for a kickoff, Elite pays the price as he plays it up the wall. Here's Murray. Now over the line they come, and here's Zavro. Jimmy Zavro had a drop pass stolen away. Loose now, still in the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. A centering pass bounces in the slot, and it's picked up, and out comes Jake Fisher with a full head of steam. 1 against 3. Tried to shoot through a screen, and he put it off Savino to the far boards. Now behind the net, it's controlled by the Cadets. They'll try the near side. Fisher in on the forecheck, knocks a man down to his knees, Tommy Cronin. And now up the near wall it comes, and a one-touch pass. Here's Zach Howard ahead to Cronin as he fell. Now we get a whistle. And what do we got?
I think it just went up into the rafters.
The rafters, yep.
Well, it's been I would say a more physical game from the cadet side of things. They've been using the body. That's a prototypical Mike Randolph team.
Yeah.
And they've been playing that style in this game as much as they can.
You know, that's the thing about his best teams at Duluth East. Everybody always talked about their skill levels, but they were always physical.
And that probably made them look more skilled because they were able to, clear the path, if you will.
So create some more space for themselves, yes. We have a face-off coming up in the Raiders zone. 6:48 to go in the first period. No score. Kind of close to the vest, at least on the shot board, although the pace, I think, has been good. It's 4-3 on the shot board. And the official sees something amiss here, and we'll get the wings squared away before they drop the puck. Loose to the right point, past Burns, and then rink wide. Savino will chase it down. And then it's cleared back past Colton Jamison all the way back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Jamison rings the net at full speed, being harassed there. Now a pass up the middle is broken up and controlled by Burns. Played ahead for St. Thomas Academy, and we have an offside. Well, that one they called, so we're good there. So face off at neutral, 6:23 to go. And it'll be Cronin on against Easton Swift, the junior forward. Playing ahead, here comes Cretin-Derham Hall. Swift hits the line as Campbell breaking the pass up the slot, Cantwell rather, and now cleared ahead on the left, Tommy Cronin. He breaks out with Howard over the line. Cronin puts on the brakes, leaves a drop pass, and they fan on it. Long carom. Here's a race for it back in the zone, and the Raiders are going to win it. It comes right onto the goaltender, but unable to get a second hand on the stick is Colin Scanlon. Swift, and now it's picked up, and here comes Tommy Cronin back for St. Thomas Academy. Cronin through neutral ice, over the line, he's forced wide, tries to center, nothing doing there. Goes off to the boards and now cleared into the netting and out of play behind the goal. We're going to take a break. Here from the Bloomington Ice Garden, no score on Friday Night Ice here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
It's a very unique sport. I would say it has this blend of toughness and athleticism, but by and large, really creativity. You have lots of great athletes, but you don't have lots of great hockey players, and the biggest separator is what they call hockey IQ or intelligence, and that's the ability to really process information quickly, make decisions.
IT band, patellofemoral stress fractures, and plantar fasciitis are probably the biggest running issues that we see. And I think that depending on the runner, if it's someone who's a really seasoned runner, who's been a runner their whole life, it could be as simple as a shoe change, and that's enough of a subtle difference for them. Or they change distances. I used to be more of a 10K half marathon person, now I want to be a marathoner. And a lot of people just do too much too soon. I think overuse is a big thing.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Them bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Back at the Bloomington Ice Gardens with Mike Greenlay. I'm merely Jeff Papis as we get ready to wind up this first period. We hitting the latter third here. No score. Cretin-Derham Hall is breaking into the zone, and here comes Fisher. Forced wide, shoots, and he might have caught the shaft of the stick there of Magosi, but he made the stop, and that's all that matters. Kickoff will plays towards the right point, and it's held in front. Fisher fires, and that's a much better save. And a stoppage coming.
Well, there's been a couple of turnovers. St. Thomas has lost the puck in some dicey areas in front of their own net, and that one was a perfect example. Now, part of that is good forecheck by Cretin-Derham Hall, but still, you gotta manage that puck in your own end, and the last guy you want to put it on the tape of is Fisher, and well, so far in this game, Owens as well.
And LaPie on the face-off as Fisher is taken out. Now here comes St. Thomas Academy. It's Patch Cronin down the left lane closing, and he topped his shot. It goes behind the net, and it comes towards the right point. Fisher trying to dig it out, and now it played into skates. Picked up. They're caught on a line change. Howard. Now they do get back, and here's Howard shooting from a sharp angle. That didn't get through, and we get a whistle. The puck was stopped at the left edge of the goal crease by Miller to get a stoppage with exactly 5 minutes left in the period. They were heading off, and then they came back in a hurry.
Well, that 2-on-1, the puck was on the tape of Max Condon, and he stopped skating. I mean, as a younger player, if you stop skating, someone's going to catch you, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, he needed to keep chugging along, help create the gap there. But I'm sure he's getting an earful, or will.
Here's a 2-on-1 for Cretin-Derham Hall. Owens over the line, tried to throw it across, and it was under the sliding defender, Kurtz. Centering pass is picked up by Zavaro, and they got lucky there, and a nice defensive play as well. Murray playing it in, but Owens, your man, starting the 2-on-1 there, Mike, and it's fun to watch him.
He's been very significant in this game, a very visible player here for Cretin.
Here's Chorlton playing it in, and that's broken up by Patch Cronin. Right on the line, held in there, and here's Max Anderson shooting, and that goes off the defender, Faith, and over the top. He had to look for it. Now picked up and played out to center, and here comes Dozen down the near wing. Will Dozen, he is forced wide with just over 4 minutes left in the period. Kickoff in the far corner. Goes behind the net. Dozen centers it. It's loose in front. A scramble. Puck play to the high stick, and every referee on the ice got their hands up at the same time. And then it's played down and taken off. But Cretin-Derham Hall controlling along the left boards. A pass to center is picked up a little bit too far for Bennett, and not far enough for icing, as it turns out. Now controlled by St. Thomas Academy up the near wing. Dosen, pass to center, right on the tape, and here comes Dietz. He's over the line. Dietz fires, and that goes wide of the goal. Long carom picked up by Somweber for Cretin-Derham Hall. Holden Somweber getting his first shift of the night. And now cleared to the near boards and out to center as Sylvester LaPie plays it in. Savino rink wides it, and St. Thomas Academy gets possession in neutral ice. Camden cannot control it. Bouncing puck picked up, and here they come again. This is Scanlon shooting, and a save made. And the puck goes back behind the net. Scanlon goes down heavily. Referee not interested, comes to the right point, and it's picked up and carried out by Howard at center. Then he lost it. Knocked back into the zone, and Burns for St. Thomas Academy. Under 3 minutes to go in the period. Now Howard will play it ahead. Going after it is Jamison in the right corner, and he's stapled to the boards there by his opposite number, Howard. Behind the net, St. Thomas Academy buzzing, centering pass, and a backhanded attempt at the left edge. Follow up! Oh! And it was put over the top by Savino.
Well, Savino in this one shift has had a really big hit and a couple of opportunities in the offensive zone. So he's making a name for himself very early as well.
And a shot from the point is gloved. We'll get a face-off at 2:26 to go as Sean Burns, a senior defender, had his moment there. Face-off coming to the right of the Raiders' goal. Scoreless at 2:26 left in the first. Banked off the boards. And now spun around there. Chorlton stayed with it. Puck comes to the far boards, and Kurtz can play it ahead, and Cadets looking for some space inside that perimeter. Now a centering pass is poked away to the near boards with 2:05 to go. in the first period. It comes out to center. Faith has it, and he starts right back in. Faith chased by Attila Lapai, tried to throw it across, and here's Kurtz. He's bumped in against the wall, and the Cadets will clear behind the net. Less than 2 minutes to go in the period as Tommy Cubas has taken it against the boards. They're letting them play so far, it looks like. And here's Cardenas trying to poke one ahead, and he can't get it out of the zone. Now played back behind the net. Raiders get it over to the right corner. Chorlton there, and his outlet pass is blocked. It's a good shift here by the Cadets. Murray trying to play it in front, and they're just doing a nice job of holding that zone. Now a long pass ahead. Icing indicated goaltender is out. And now Cretin-Derham Hall on a change is picked up, and here comes Murray, and he plays it in over the line with 1:16 to go in the period. And I think the TV team timeouts are giving them a little extra pace here. Some fresher legs maybe in the last minute or so.
Free coaches timeout too.
Yes. And they get 6 of them in the game, and certainly no problem with that from a coaching standpoint. Less than a minute to go in the period. And it's dug out now by Chuck Owens along the boards. He's taken out by Dietz. And then cleared out to center, played down with a hand, and that's a hand pass, so we'll bring it all the way back for a face-off with 47 seconds left in the period. Peter Rodney will join us at the intermission with a coaching interview. And then we'll go to our crack staff between periods. Tony Scott. Tony cleans up pretty good, doesn't he?
Not bad, not bad.
Plays in the Raiders zone out to center. Burns.
Put on his favorite Don Cherry outfit.
Yes, he did. Well, everyone's wearing them. Don Cherry. 27 seconds to go in the period. And it's going to run to the right of the goal. After it there is Burns. Cleared around on the far side. Held in a high shot. Goes over the top. With 15 seconds to go in the period from Cernahouse, and now check that, Bennett. Now behind the net, Burns feeds over to the far side, and it's cleared to the line, and it does come out. Here's a race for it. Oh, and a nice play there right off the bench by Sylvester Lapai. He goes down in a heap as the period comes to an end.
Well, I would say that St. Thomas, even though they both ended up with 6 apiece, St. Thomas seemed to control the pace a lot more physical, but then again, more mistakes in their own zone. And Cretin-Derham Hall had, I'd probably say, higher quality chances, but we're notched at 0. Both goaltenders did their job and had a few block shots by both clubs.
All right, Peter Rodney is standing by with the brand new boss of the St. Thomas Academy Cadets, Mike Randolph.
Down here, I'd say between the benches, but right now we're on the bench of the St. Thomas Academy Cadets with head coach Mike Randolph. Coach, only 12 combined shots between these two teams. Do you think it's early game nerves or what?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and both teams are playing very well defensively. Overall, a pretty solid period for both teams, I think, and something will break here pretty soon.
Well, it looks like it's been a teeter-totter battle going back and forth. At which point does it benefit your team more to be in transition instead of set up in the offensive zone?
Well, we're set up in the offensive zone. I'd like to see them work the puck side to side a little bit more. And sometimes high school players get lost when it goes side to side and get pucks through from the point. That's basically who we are. We have a nice transition game, but when we get going like that last shift Cronus line had, where we controlled the offensive zone, that's what we're looking for.
St. Thomas Academy head coach Mike Randolph with a little premonition for what we might see in the second period from the Cadets. Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll be back after a word from our sponsor.
It was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem. But we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Sports for Good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and develop pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
From the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and at the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Ice intermission break. Tony, we're at 0-0. What did you see in that first period?
I've seen Mike Randolph coach now for decades. This is exactly what Coach Rand wants. He wants football on skates.
Yeah.
And he's got it, right? 5 shots on goal apiece or 6 shots goal apiece. Very few penalties, a lot of body checking. This is good for him. Bad for Cretin right now.
Right. Is there a little bit of first game jitters or rivalry jitters that we're seeing that needed to get skated out of the boots in the first?
I hope so. I don't want to watch this. 2,000 fans here don't want to watch it. They want to see goals and body checks and excitement.
And we did see that. Equal shots on goal at 6 apiece. Do you want to see these teams get a lot more aggressive on offense?
Yeah, and this is what Coach Randolph wants. He wants it to be 6 shots on goal apiece. You know, they want to get up there. We want to see 10 shots on goal because obviously the more shots, the more chance for goals and more shots for excitement.
Each team had a penalty kill in that first period. What do you want to see out of both teams that's going to be addressed here maybe by each coach in the locker rooms that's going to come out and shake things up a little?
Well, I think that Cretin's going to definitely open up their passing lanes. They're going to probably stretch the ice a little bit more with getting their wings out into neutral zone and try to open things up a little bit for the Raiders.
And Tony, when you know it comes down to these two teams, there's a lot of history here. What do you think after period one, what this game's going to come down to?
Well, I think definitely the goaltending is huge. Both goalies played well. You know, they faced a lot more heat than the 6 shots. There was a lot of good opportunities in those power plays for both teams. I think at the end of the day, both teams are going to open things up a lot here in the second period.
A little bit quiet of a first period, but before we get back to the action on the ice, on the other side of this break, Tony will be joined with a very special guest, Dr. Eric Stromer. Stay tuned.
Other than running a 4.40, everything was great.
Right.
It was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back to Friday Night Ice. Tony Scott here with Dr. Eric Stromer. Good evening, Doctor. How are you doing tonight?
Good, Tony. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
How great is this?
This is unbelievable.
2 historic
programs,
St. Paul programs, standing room only. Awesome.
Before we get to your profession, you played some hockey, and you probably had a good sense of this rivalry going to University of St. Thomas, or probably College of St. Thomas back in the day.
No, I'm not that old. It's university.
All right.
Yes.
Good deal.
So I grew up in Roseville, played hockey in high school, went to University of St. Thomas, played hockey. I had a lot of friends that played at both the Academy and Cretin. Great rivalry, 2 historic St. Paul programs. This is fun tonight.
So you're a doctor in athletic medicine.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you see every day in your profession at the, at Summer Orthopedics.
Yeah, so at Summer Orthopedics, I specialize in sports medicine and joint replacement. So joint replacement, that's for the older people.
I know exactly what it is.
Sports medicine, I see people with all sorts of shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, everything injuries. The other thing too at Summit is we have probably the best fellowship trained specialists in all of the metro for every problem you need. We have it. So I see someone, I'm like, you know what? I don't know how to take care of this. I'm going to call my colleague.
And that's exactly my story. I knew Dr. Nick Wills. He says, I can't help you. You don't have a spine issue. You need to meet Dr. Pop. So that's how it came down for me, and it was an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, we work, our group, we work really together as a team. We're really excited to team up with the Youth Hockey Hub. This is awesome.
You got to be excited. You're a hockey guy,
I'm
right?
a hockey dad. I got 3 kids still in hockey. This is awesome. Friday night. This is great.
I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you more and learn more about Summit Orthopedics moving forward.
I love it.
Dr. Eric Stromer from Summit Orthopedics, thanks for being here. We're going to take it to a break, and we'll be back here in just a minute for the puck drop of second period on Friday Night Ice.
Generally speaking, water is a better fluid to use to rehydrate with. A big part of the importance of hydration is hydrating before the race rather than during the race. So, the hydration before a long distance race in particular really starts the day before the race, probably those 24 to 36 hours before the race to be completely hydrated.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Teams will attack towards their benches in the second period as we welcome you back to Bloomington Ice Garden. Mike Greenlay, Jeff Pappas with you. And Mike, what would you have said to these teams if it was your dressing room between periods?
That's always the fun part, is seeing, first of all, if you can recognize the adjustments that coaches have made. And because, of course, they're not just blowing hot air in the locker room. They want to see execution on different things that they talk to the kids about. And Mike Randolph gave us a quick idea of what he wants to see. He wants to see more puck possession in the offensive zone, a little more east-west game when you're there, a little more keeping the puck and moving it back and forth, rather than the line rush game where you're trading chances. So We'll see if St. Thomas Academy does that. Hard to say exactly what Cretin-Derham Hall will bring out. They have had some better chances. He probably wants Matt Bunk probably wants his players just to bear down when they have those opportunities, because they could easily be up a couple goals in this game.
Penalty box is empty. Shots even at 6 in the first period. Second is just underway, and the teams will again attack towards their benches here in the second period. Miller sets it up behind the goal, and now it's swung around on the near side looking for Cardenas, and out to center. Here comes Fisher. Well, the man on his left. Fisher hits the line, gives the pass to him, and that was Lepai, and he's a little slow getting to the slot. Paid the price for it. Puck comes out to center, and here comes Tommy Cronin. Over the line, a backhanded pass, gets all the way through, and Fisher is not able to get there in time. Tommy Cronin behind the goal. Cronin taken in against the boards, and now the puck cleared around on the near side. Picked up Cardenas, one touch to center ice, and Fisher's having a hard time staying on side, and he can't do it, and the play is blown dead.
You mentioned about the Lepai brothers on how unique their names were.
Yes.
One Sylvester, but as you said, it had 2 Z's in it.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you where, because I barely can figure that out. And the other one's Attila.
Yes, and Attila is a poacher. Seen him score goals. He is one of these guys that finds a way to be exactly where you don't want him if you're the defense.
Yeah.
And he is, the kinds of goals that he scored were reminiscent of the young Dino. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of the poachers sort of goals.
Timing's everything in hockey.
Yes.
Especially when you want to score goals.
And in a lot of things, I reckon. But yes, and young Mr. Lepai certainly had that knack last season. 17 goals.
I believe Attila said to us that his father is Hungarian.
Yeah.
And so that's where the names come from, obviously.
All right. Yep.
Yeah. But there's only one other Attila I know of.
Yeah, he made a name for himself, didn't he?
So I don't know. That's the only other time I've ever heard that name used. So that's pretty cool.
One of those names is not a household name.
My name's Mike, and you're Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
those aren't interesting at all.
No, I'm boring. Officially boring. 1:34 gone in the second period. Play behind the St. Thomas Academy net. Tommy Cronin being chased there, and I will try the other side. Over to the near corner for Tommy Kurtz, and it winds up in the circle. Finally played ahead. And the Cadets break through to center ice. And that was a nice play there by Somweber to move Max Camden off the puck, and over the line it comes, and now it winds up behind the Cadets' goal. And a pass at center ice is picked off. And that long outlet pass, that long center pass, the stuff that, Mike's very best teams used to do that routinely. You know, those really long, snazzy breakout passes and the east-west stuff that that he talked about.
It's tough to go with a stretch pass from between your circles.
Yes.
Usually if you're going to make that happen, you better be a little higher in the zone, I think, and have someone with a little bit of a stretch towards that far blue line. But sometimes it's risk-reward, right?
Well, you could do it with Chris Locker and Dave Spihar. Here's a shot. Rebound, they score! Will Dosen for St. Thomas Academy, and the Cadets have the lead 2 minutes and 35 seconds into the period. Speaking of being in the right place at the right time, Dosen certainly managed that nicely.
Well, you know what, when I see that, you got to think that he was shooting for that type of rebound. I mean, that's the only place that rebound could go. And just being able to pick up on that, it was a very quick play, but my goodness, just a shot, save, rebound, goal. I mean, it all happened very quickly.
Now,
and they also did it in some way like Mike Randolph wanted to see. A little bit of zone time, not a lot, but a little bit.
Now we're getting the assists. Kickhoffel and Tashny getting assists on Dosen's goal at 2:35, an icing call against St. Thomas Academy.
Well, they open up the scoring here, St. Thomas Academy.
And now we'll see how Cretin-Derham Hall reacts to going behind, something that did not happen to them often last year. And over the line comes Tommy Cronin. He puts on the brakes. Cronin now settles for going behind the net, and Howard will chase it, cleared around on the near side, and poked ahead to the blue line. Anderson out to center, and a race for it there as Nate Charlton tries to get to it. Cernahouse back in the right corner. These teams are going to play each other again before Christmas, by the way, so it's not as though I'm sure these teams are really showing everything that's in the playbook at this point, but they are going to play each other again in the last game before the holidays. 1-0, St. Thomas Academy on top, 13:20 to go in the period, and now puck comes to center, and the Raiders break in. Cardenas, he shoots, and a split save there by Magosi off to the right. There's a drive right on and right in the midsection. So
that was a good save. It looked like it might have even, it was definitely a screen, but even might have been deflected. So a good eye by that young goaltender to find it through a bit of a crowd.
Even though it doesn't have a lot of varsity experience, of course, you don't play for either of these teams unless you can play, and that's certainly fair to say. Now Kickhoffel is dismissed from the faceoff. 13:09 to go in the period. Here's a shot that goes off the heel of the stick of Attila Lepai in the high slot. Now they try to get out of the corner. Fisher left the drop pass, and Lepai was in too deep. Comes out to center. Now here comes Dosen. Through a screen and through Hogue, and he put it on goal. Save made there by Miller. And now the Raiders will break out a bank pass for Cardenas down the wing. And that's a little bit too far. It'll be icing.
Well, Cretin with trying to maybe catch St. Thomas napping a little bit, but, you know, long change period. So I think they were trying to hope to spring one of the Raiders down the right side, but it just didn't connect.
Devin Cardenas, 20-point man a season ago. 6 goals, 14 assists. Try to get him behind the defense. Now Miller has to make a stop, but delayed offside coming. It's taken off, and now here come the Raiders. Fisher at center is ridden off, but he picks it back up, and he's at speed immediately. Fisher over the line, takes a shot. Save made, follow-up for Fisher, and he put it just wide. And now loose in front, Lepai, there's C's right there, right at the goal crease. And now a major scrum in front of the goal. And Lepai is underneath people as now Aiden Siegfried getting up. And now more pushes and shoves. And now we're going to get penalties as Cardenas, I think, is going to go for that little shove after the whistle.
Well, we said it was a rivalry game, right?
We did. Not turning into one.
There wasn't that much action in front of the goaltender, although Jake Fisher did get in there looking for a rebound, and he was immediately surrounded and piled on, but there's also some niceties exchanged the other way, too.
Yes.
So,
well, we'll get it.
But ends up St. Thomas with a man advantage.
Their second power play of the night. And they lead at 1-0. Face-off win. The puck comes to Dietz. Is it over to the far side? And they will work it around. Dietz in the high slot. Near circle one time by Cronin goes wide. Tommy Cronin. Now Dietz again. Top of an umbrella look over to the far side. Picked up there by Kurtz. Go beside the net. Centering pass! There's that east-west stuff that they're so good at on the power play. Now to the high slot. Here's Dietz. Over to Tommy Cronin.
Let's not forget that tremendous save from east-west. I mean, that was a labeled puck.
Stack the pads. It's just like you do it, just like you draw it up, isn't it?
Oh, he got one of them over there. That's all that matters. That's all you need.
That's right. Shot all the way down, and that'll give Cretin-Derham Hall a chance to catch their breath a little bit. 1:10 to go on the penalty. Now as Dietz goes down, and over the line comes Cronin. He almost undressed the defense there as Jamison picks it up and clears out to center. Patch Cronin there. Plays it ahead, and Fisher now drop back into the Cretin-Derham Hall end, and after it is Jamison, and he will golf it ahead. It'll get all the way down the ice. 45 in the power play. Coming up on 6 minutes gone in the second period. 1-0 the score. Now here they come. Cubas over the line, gets by Attila Lepai in the circle, and he plays it around on the far side. Raiders will get there first and poke it out.
Lepai's not afraid to whip that stick around a few times. I don't know if he plays lacrosse, but that's a rusty gate in lacrosse, and that's allowed. In hockey, not so much.
No. Shot all the way down the ice, and now we have a player in the Cretin-Derham Hall goal as the penalty comes to an end. The objective is to put the puck there, not the player. And finally, a centering pass. There's a shot and a blocker pad save on the Raiders. Chuck Owens. Now a drive from the left point, and Cretin-Derham Hall had 6 skaters on the ice there, and they were lucky to get away with that. Shot all the way down the ice. If they came off the bench on that line change, they had 6 skaters in front of the goal, and we're fortunate. We're going to take a timeout here. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
From the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
Generally speaking, water is a better fluid to use to rehydrate with. A big part of the importance of hydration is hydrating before the race rather than during the race. So, the hydration before a long distance race in particular really starts the day before the race, probably almost 24 to 36 hours before the race to be completely hydrated.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Back at Bloomington Ice Garden, there you see the score, 1-0 for St. Thomas Academy. Face off to the left of Cadets' goal, and it's played around. Charlton after it, lets it go through, and now Chuck Owens taken in against the boards for Cretin-Derham Hall. Puck comes free. Here's Owens again. still loose in the corner. Owens now feeds the left point. A shot through traffic, and it's blocked. Now back out to center and controlled there by Luke Charlton. Nate Charlton also on there, the freshman. Now to the near corner boards it goes. Players from both teams in, out of our sight for the time being. And now played to neutral ice, rink wide, and back into the zone where Ganetz will go after it. Ganetz leaves it in the left corner for Luke Charlton. Poked ahead now to the line, but not out. Oh, and a nice play there by Faith to get around one man, loose to the circle. And now it's going to be cleared. Howard in the corner. He's going to be taken in against the wall by Ganetz. And now in to help out Peter Murray for St. Thomas Academy. 4-car pileup now as the puck scrap war in the corner. Now controlled by the Raiders, and they come out with just under 9 minutes to go, but they can't get out of the zone. Howard on a turn, throws it across, and now picked up in the circle and played around behind the net by Camden. Now he gets it back. Camden in the high slot, feeds the far point. Camden again, skate to stick, and nearly a breakout there, but they give up a turnover and a shot, a blocker pad save off Tommy Cronin in front.
I tell you what, Cronin had the whole blocker side to shoot at. He kind of shot it towards the middle of the net. Goaltender still made a tremendous save there, and seeing more of that east-west passing by St. Thomas Academy.
Now the right point, Cernahouse trying to hold it in, played it down to the half wall. Players from both teams in, and now it breaks free. It was behind the net. We passed the halfway mark in regulation time. 1-0 to score, and a long pass. Tipped past Cernahouse. Tashany goes back for it, and Cernahouse takes him in against the boards. Raiders get it long past to center, and now it's turned loose at neutral ice. Played back in after it. Cardenas, he can't get there, and it's offside. Only got a hand pass called, and Jake Fisher takes the puck. One thing I like about Jake Fisher, I've seen over the couple of years, he goes from 0 to transition speed faster than just about anybody I've seen.
You ever want to see who's a good skater? You look at their first 3 strides, and his are remarkable. He takes off pretty quick. That's a good skater. When you can explode like that, and as you said, get to full speed from transition hockey, now that's the kind of kid that you know has wheels.
Play in the right corner of the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Under 8 minutes to go in the second period now as Blosser pass to center, finds the tape, and over the line, Fisher drop pass to Lepai, and then he is double teamed against the board. Fisher gets it back. He's got Cernahouse in front, but could not control the puck to get it to him. Comes to the near corner. Body's starting to fly now as puck runs rink wide and out to center. Colton Jamieson there. Over to Cernahouse. Banks it ahead, and it's tipped by Fisher into the zone. Now Cubas had it knocked off his stick, and it's controlled finally by Zavro for St. Thomas Academy. Plays it in. Right on, and Miller made a stop, banked off the glass. Out to center, Cardenas is slowed up by Burns. Now the puck back into the zone, swift to Cernahouse as St. Thomas Academy has to tag up. Now rink wide, here comes Colton Jamieson, and he is stripped of the puck. Comes to the center ice area and played on in. Cantwell after it as Howard dumps Cardenas with a body check. And the Raiders trying to come at this St. Thomas Academy team with speed, but speed begets speed, and the puck goes out of play into the bench.
Cretin just trying to get the momentum back. They did lose it for quite some time there with the goal against, couple chances, and then the power play against just kept things rolling for St. Thomas Academy, and Cretin's just trying to get back to their game with some opportunities. And it looks like the last couple of shifts they've been able to at least control the puck a little bit. They still have not seen the offensive zone that much.
How much difference in your mind does the long change make to a quick team?
I think it's crucial to manage that part of the game as a coach and of course players. And you got to be careful. Timing for line changes, we've seen people get caught, and a lot of times they get caught in this second period.
All right, play is in the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Going after it, there's Tashany behind the net. And now up the near wall it comes, and a pass ahead. Colin Scanlon puts it to Swift. And over the line, Swift forced wide. Nice play there by Savino to drift him off the puck. Now loose to the corner. And we get a whistle, and we're going to have a face-off outside. And we're going to take a timeout here. 5:59 to go in the second period.
From the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
Generally speaking, water is a better fluid to use to rehydrate with. A big part of the importance of hydration is hydrating before the race rather than during the race. So, the hydration before a long distance race in particular really starts the day before the race, probably those 24 to 36 hours before the race to be completely hydrated.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Back at Bloomington Ice Gardens with Mike Greenlay, Jeff Pappas with you. 5:59 to go in the second period. A 1-0 lead for St. Thomas Academy. And they control from the face-off. Played to neutral ice and picked up there by Charlton. Tommy Cronin had his pocket picked it over the line near the Raiders, but Somweber unable to control it and bring it to his forehand. And now St. Thomas Academy back on the far side. Howard plays it in. Delayed offside, and they tag up. Now the Raiders, a long pass to neutral ice, is picked off. Here comes Max Camden in over the line. He fires a blocker pad saved by Miller. Comes off to the near boards. And the Cadets still in control. Dietz feeds it over to the right point. Flattens out, shot, and that winds up going wide of the goal. Patch Cronin with a chance there. And it comes out to center. Oh, now Sylvester Lepai. That's a draw on that battle there with Brody Dietz. They both staggered and neither one fell.
Well, Dietz had momentum. I thought Lepai was going into next week. He stood the ground pretty well.
There's a shot by the defenseman Camden that winds up going wide. Camden gets it back, centers it, backhanded shot, and a save by Miller in front as they're kind of pecking away the St. Thomas Academy team here. They're just taking the chances they get, and so far it's worked for them, leading at 1-0. And here's Charlton, Nate Charlton over the line. And now the penalty we have coming up here. A tripping penalty as Creighton came in over the line.
Well, it's interesting. I was looking to see how many guys were coming off that bench because there was a line change going on for Cretin-Derham Hall right at the same time that the puck was coming through.
Yep.
And a player jumped over the boards, and that player is the one who drew the tripping penalty. And so Cretin-Derham Hall will have an opportunity to tie this game. As I mentioned, St. Thomas Academy scored, then they had a couple good chances, and then a power play, and they could have broken this loose. Instead, Cretin-Derham Hall fought their way back, and now they have a chance to tie this game. So fortune's being made right here.
Indeed. Now, Hogue high in the slot, feeds it over to the left. Centering pass for Lepai. High in the slot, Attila Lepai going to the circle. Now goes and leaves it there for Fisher. Along the wall. Hogue. Fisher. Lepai. Fisher. Hogue. Over to the near side. Now a centering pass. They try to get it across. And Fisher can't get there, and Hogue was headed in the wrong direction. And it comes back out. Minute 20 in the power play. Pass to the right. Lepai has to slow down. Now feeds the middle and flying through there. Fisher fires. It's off the goaltender. Magosi with a good stop there, and it's cleared out to center.
Plenty of vision for the goaltender there, but still, point-blank shot. That was very labeled, and that was a good glove save. Even though he didn't catch it, he knocked it down.
Now play in the area behind the net. 55 seconds to go in the power play. I am reminded of Don Beaupre's words, I get paid to stop the puck, not beat it to death. and over the line.
Just get, you know what? First job of a goaltender is just get in front of it.
Yep.
Worry about style afterwards.
It's back in the Raiders zone, 35 seconds to go in this power play. 3:07 in the second period, and they're offside, and they iced the puck, so a double whammy there. And they'll take it all the way back for the face-off with 3:03 to go. Now, face-off coming up to the right of Miller. Shots are 15-13 now for St. Thomas Academy, which means 9-7 here in the second, as Cernahouse has it behind the goal. Time for one more power play rush. 25 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Anderson over the line, and he is upended there along the boards. The puck underneath him, still loose at the hash mark, and now finally cleared rink wide back into the Raiders' end, and that'll just about do it for this power play. Each team about to go 0 for 2 on the man advantage. 4 seconds to go as Siegfried picks his way down the right wing and dumps it in. Penalty is over. Centering pass. It bounces up the slot. And that time they had a player coming out of the penalty box. And now a shot right on. A save made by Miller. Follow-up comes all the way through to the near side. But in that case, Camden was breaking for the bench and was behind the defense. Puck now picked up along the near wall by Kickhoffel. He keeps it in the corner. Kickhoffel then falls, goes behind the net, and it's picked up there by Dosen. Banked ahead and held into the zone. Finally played down deep. Kickhoffel again centers. Nice defensive play there by Charlton, and now it comes in front, and they still can't get out of the zone. Dosen centers it. Kickhoffel shoots. A save made. Off, they score! It ran up the goaltender and down his back and into the goal. The net had come off, but the goal is being allowed, and Kickhoffel has got himself a fortunate goal.
Yeah, it was a good initial save, but the rebound went straight up in the air. And he just wasn't able to corral it.
15-14 is the time of the goal here in the second period. It's 2-0 now, St. Thomas Academy.
The timing of that goal is huge here.
Oh. Kill off a penalty and then score?
Yeah, Cretin-Derham Hall has been slowly but surely chipping away at opportunities, and St. Thomas really answered the bell on that one.
We'll get the announcement on the goal. Kickhoffel giving credit for the goal as the shot goes out of play. And Dosen gets the only assist. Even strength goal at 15-14. It's 2-0 St. Thomas Academy. Yeah, those last 2-minute goals are killers anyway, but especially after the Hyatt killing off a penalty and a pretty good power play they just faced down too. Now, from the face-off, it's Kickhoffel at center, now played back. Oh, and a giveaway there. Shot goes wide of the goal. He put it right on Howard's stick. Gannett's had it run off his blade. And fortunately for him, Howard missed the net. Here's Cardenas over the line. Leaves a drop pass. Attila Lapai, last minute of play. A Fisher over the line. That hit the post. Solid goal post on the left side as Aiden Siegfried put it right off the middle. And now a giveaway and a shot in front, and again, Siegfried just about set up Howard accidentally, and boy, it's living rough.
It's amazing what a forecheck will do. It'll cause you to turn the puck over time and time again, and then the last few plays.
Centering pass, Cardenas shoots, goaltender out to challenge, and the save made.
I'll tell you, Cretin's been knocking on the door. They've had ample opportunity to have a couple goals in this game themselves, but just have not found that finish, that last little thing they need. They hit a post here a couple minutes ago. They had a point-blank chance just now. They've had some good looks here throughout this game. This could easily be a 2-2 score, but they just cannot finish on their chances.
And we'll get a face-off to the right of Magosi. Pulled between the point men and all the way back out. Hogue will have to backtrack for it. Now picked up on the near side by Jamison. Played in front of his net. Forecheck comes in, they absorb it, and now break out to center ice, and over the line they come. And trying to bludgeon his way through there was Charlie Cantwell. 5 seconds to go in the period. Jamison back in his zone, and we're going to go to the intermission with St. Thomas Academy with a 2-goal advantage. It's 2-0, and they outshoot Cretin-Derham Hall 14-8 in the second period, 20-14 for the contest. Your thoughts here?
Well, just a lot of good forechecks here by St. Thomas Academy, and I think they were able to execute some of the plan by Mike Randolph to keep that puck deep and then move it east-west for chances, and they certainly did that well. They have a 2-0 lead because of it.
They did indeed, and teams now being separated as they head off the ice. Rodney is down at ice level, and he has got Matt Funk with him, and we're going to send it over to the nattily dressed young man on the blue sport coat.
Head coach of the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, Matt Funk, coach, down 2-0 going into the third period. What has to change for your team to get back into this? We just got to get pucks behind their deep, go to work, and generate offense. Right now we're playing too much on our heels. We're playing nervous. We just got to play our game. As I said, down 2-0, but what can you say about goaltender Leo Miller's performance? He's kept you in this game with 18 saves. He has. He's played really good. He's composed. He's playing calm, making the first save. We just got to help him out. All right, that's been head coach Matt Funk of the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. The Raiders trail St. Thomas Academy 2-0 heading into period number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a word from our sponsor.
Goal, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Them bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
I think a force for good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and develop pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back to the second intermission break of Friday Night Ice. Allie Mosley here with Tony Scott. Tony, finally, we get a goal. 2 minutes and 35 seconds into the period. It was a beauty at that, coming from number 9, sophomore forward Will Doshin. Then, with 1:46 left in the period, the second goal comes. This time from Lucas Kickhoffel. What'd you see?
Well, basically it was just a shot from the point by Jacob Faith. And the puck bounced up in the air. Leo Miller lost it, and next thing you know, Kickoff had it in the back of the net for 2-0. A huge goal for the Tommies.
Finally, some points on the board, but after that first goal, things started getting a little chippy out there.
Absolutely. Emotions are going to run high, but it's I would call it physical, not chippy. If it were chippy, we'd have 10 penalties on the board. We've only had 1 in each period by both teams. Referees are moving the marble back and forth. Great hockey game so far, just not a lot of points on the board yet.
Tony, if you're either of these coaches, are you going to switch up your game plan at this point going into the third period, or are you going to stick to what you came into the game with?
Obviously, Mike Randolph's not changing a thing. He's probably over on the bench right now. But the Matt Funk, on the other hand, has got to make some changes. I think he's probably sensing some pressure, too. I mean, they haven't won in 8 games. You know, if you look down this concourse here, there's 19 or 20 assistant coaches probably second-guessing how they play and who they pass to and what lines are made up for. So I'm sure that he's feeling a little bit of pressure. Plus, he's the athletic director at Cretin-Derham Hall, so he'd have to fire himself if he were, you know, that would be a strange one. But right. So I'm sure he's feeling a little bit of pressure, but he's one of the most well-liked people, especially in this rivalry, being a St. Thomas alum.
The pressure is mounting. What do you think he's telling his team to come out here and make sure that they get this job done in the third?
There's going to be 2 choices, right? It's either go physical or go fast. And knowing these guys, they're going to go fast. They're going to really open some things up here, like I mentioned in the last period break. I expect them to go really fast, and things should open up a lot this period.
All right, when we come back, Tony's got a fantastic interview with somebody you might recognize. Owen Nye, a kid legend. Tony's got him coming back.
Hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back to Friday Night Ice. I'm Tony Scott. Joining with me right now, Owen Nye. How you doing, O-Dog?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. You're quite the legend. I've known you since when your brother Jack played Pee Wee hockey for the Highland Capitals way back in the day, and now you're all grown up. You're an 8th grader. You'll be going to Cretin next year, correct? Just like your brother did. Owen, your career ended last February. Your last game was pretty special. Like 1,500 people showed up at your game, sold out. Tell me a little bit about that experience, having all your friends and family there.
It was like super overwhelming. I didn't expect that because like people were telling me, I can't come, and I'm like, is it really just gonna be a normal game or?
And they fooled you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everyone was there. The video on our website of you running out on the ice that night, 200,000 people saw that video. And we're very lucky to have you here. This isn't the first time we've done an interview. We did an interview a few years ago on your brother's last game that was played here. What are your memories of your brother Jack playing?
I just remember just going to trying to go to every single one of his games and hoping for the best. It was so fun to watch him and Matt Gleason.
Yeah. So those are all. Matt's a kid who grew up in your neighborhood as well. Robbie Stucker is another one. He's a cadet, you know, and I'm sure you probably got some rips you'd like to rip on Robbie. What would you like to say to Robbie tonight if he was watching back in Vermont? Nothing? You got nothing for him?
You should have went to CDH. You should have brought all the Christie brothers, your brothers. We could have had a dynasty, but that's your mistake.
It is his mistake. It is his mistake. All right, tonight you're scraping the ice in between periods for us, making some big cash. Is there a little pressure on you going out there with all these people watching? You don't want to fall, right?
Yeah. Especially like if I'm not doing a good job, it's kind of hard.
You're doing a great job, O-Dog. Thanks for being on YHH. Good luck to you and good luck to the Raiders the rest of the way. Owen Nye, the living legend from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Back at Bloomington Ice Gardens, ready for the third period with Mike Greenlight, Jeff Pappas with you. It's 2-0. St. Thomas Academy, Dawson and Kickoff will have scored the goals. And Mike, when you're looking at a 2-goal deficit as the third period starts, I'll get to this at the first stoppage here, but how do you, at what point when you're a coach, do you start to make changes in the way you play?
Well, let's put it this way. Most coaches in high school that I've seen are really wanting to, as much as they can, play a 2-line game. Yes, they want to go deep in their lineup early on, but you'll see the shortening of the benches, maybe even for Cretin, occur a little earlier, just because of the fact that they need to get the guys that can finish out there all the time.
Here is Jamison firing. Oh, and that goes off the goaltender and behind. Colton Jamison getting close there. Into the circle, Lepai trying to get to it, and Tommy Cronin takes it off him. And it comes on out to center, then shot rink wide into the Raiders zone. No icing indicated. As play back in the left corner, now banked on out to center, and Savino returns it right back in for St. Thomas Academy. It rings the boards to the far side, and it's going to be held in on the wall there, Centering pass, loose in front, and now steered off to the boards, and Fisher playing it ahead. And now here comes Cretin-Derham Hall. Played on into the zone as Magosi out to play it to the near wall. Now in there to try and make something happen is Chuck Owens. Now Hogue swings it over to the right point, fires loose in front, banked off the glass and out to center, where Hogue picks it up and brings it right back in. Over the line, Nate Charlton closing, fires a shot, and that goes wide. Hogue playing it behind the goal. Better stuff here from Cretin-Derham Hall in the opening couple of minutes of this period.
Great pressure like they've had in the game. Great looks like they've had in the game. No finish like they've had in the game. And that's the problem. They need to find a way to finish.
I think it speaks well of the Cadets when you listen to Matt Funk at the intermission saying we have to help our goaltender, and a team that's this talented has been unable to do so far. I think it speaks well of the Cadets. Over the line, here's a centering pass as they try to find Colin Scanlon, now loose to the far boards, and it's cleared by the Cadets rink wide all the way back into the Raiders' end. That's icing, 14:42 to go.
Well, good pressure, I think, so far by the Raiders. They've found a way to keep the puck on the offensive side of that red line. So we'll see if it pays a dividend for them, because this game isn't out of reach. As I've mentioned many times, Cretin-Derham Hall could have a couple goals of their own if they just caught a break or finished on a couple chances.
Now the Cadets play it rink wide out to center. It bounced on Camden. Comes in over the line anyway. Scores! Oh my! The hockey gods favor them as a bouncing puck winds up going right where it needs to go for the Cadets to make it 3-0. Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good.
Well, I gotta, that's the thing about young players is that, one of the Raiders made a physical play when maybe you should have concentrated on the puck a little bit more along the blue line, because it was picked up immediately after that and taken in for the goal. So, being physical is one thing. Taking yourself out of position to be physical is entirely another.
Now we'll take a look at this rush here that wound up resulting in the goal. Here's the bounce I'm talking about, right off the wall, and there's the play you're talking about.
Yep. I mean, it just didn't give them a time to adjust. And it allowed Cronin to come in and place a good shot between the pads of Miller.
Let's get the goal.
Assisted by number 13, Patch Cronin, and number 27, Brody Dietz.
Patch Cronin and Dietz getting assists on the goal. It's 3-0 with 14 minutes to play, and now Cretin-Derham Hall, we'll see what response they have. They played well throughout, but just haven't again found a way to goal as Dietz's shot is nabbed by Miller. That one hop off the boards, and as you mentioned, the defender stepping up and taking Max Camden into the boards, and it freed up space for Cronin.
And Cronin's been a nose to the net guy all game long. So he's you got to know when he's on the ice.
Face off to the left of Leo Miller. Now cleared around, and it's going to be held in on the wall by Sean Burns And that winds up on the far side of the rink. Cardenas to the left. Fisher, half a step. He's going in. Fisher wires one. Rebound. Score! Attila Pie! And a lifeline for Cretin-Derham Hall. It's 3-1.
Well, that's a great response. And I have no doubt in my mind that Fisher, who was bearing down on the goaltender, knew that he didn't have a real shot, and he put it off the left pad, knowing the rebound would go right to the other side. And as you mentioned earlier, Lepai just seems to be around the puck a lot.
Definitely a poacher's goal. 13 and a half minutes left. It's 3-1. Now, Fisher and Howe getting assists on the goal, and now it runs out to center. Here come the Raiders again. They got 3 wide of the trailer. Over the line, they bring it in. The centering pass is on to the goaltender. And a save made by Magosi. Now the Raiders keep the pressure on beside the net. Centering pass looking for Cardenas, and it goes behind the net.
Goaltender's lost his stick.
Yes, he has, and here's a shot. Jamison blocked it and comes out to center, and now they can go back and get the stick for Magosi. And the Raiders wind up again. 12:45 to go. Colton Jamison over the line, and then he fanned on it. Travels, takes a shot at the goaltender, ducking there. Hogue off the far boards gets it. And now in the corner, it's picked up by Max Anderson because they go behind the net. Nothing doing there. Howard plays it around, and now Tashany, we got a whistle. Now we got a penalty coming against St. Thomas Academy, and Howard. And a power play for Cretin-Derham Hall at a key point in the game. .434.
You know, a hockey game will give you opportunities if you're willing to step in and take them. And, you know, you just responded well to having a goal go in on you by replying with one. This is another opportunity to reply and make this a real hockey game.
All right, there's the penalty on Howard. 1:55 in the power play. Let's get the official call. Cross-check is the penalty. And here comes Hogue. Again, leaving that drop pass like they like to do it. The old
the delayed entry, and if executed well, it's an easier way to get into the zone because everyone's locked up on that blue line.
And now here comes Hogue again over the line, and they'll go in the old-fashioned way. This time centers and no one home. Pass is cleared past Lepai and all the way down the ice. 1:20 in the power play, 11:45 in the third. 3-1 St. Thomas Academy on top, and Hogue will go back behind his net. Pass to the left, and here comes Fisher with speed. Fisher going in on his backhand, a shot, and a save made by Magosi off to the left boards. Now behind the net, controlled there by Savino for St. Thomas Academy. Hogue holds it in. Good pass across. Jamison threw it in front. Cardenas, Fisher, and he shot it high. Oh, Fisher had an open side. He didn't miss many of those, and it comes over to Savino on the right, and it's cleared, but what a setup there for Fisher.
Well, great job by Hogue keeping it in the zone and then feeding it across the ice to relieve the pressure. But my goodness, Fisher, he saw a gaping side and just wasn't able to put the puck there.
Now the Raiders back in, and here comes Siegfried. Now picked up by Nate Charlton. Drop back to Cernovich. Going to center point. 15 in the power play. Diving. The puck winds up on the far side. And now the Raiders keep possession. And that's Owens going behind the net. 5 seconds in the power play. And it's cleared all the way down the ice. No icing, and the penalty is over on Howard. 10:24 to go, and a chance goes begging there for Cretin-Derham Hall to make it a one-goal game. Now a mix-up in front of the goal, and finally it's cleared all the way down the ice. Icing indicated, goaltender out to play it, and he almost put it right on the stick of Charlton. Now Nate Charlton in the circle going in, centers it, spin shot, oh, and a save made off the attack of Scanlon, and now here comes St. Thomas Academy back. Howard down the wing, he is rubbed out against the wall. This is good stuff here. Now poked on out to center, and the Raiders will try to find some time and space, and they do get it. Over the line they come. Luke Charlton into the far circle is forced wide. Now tried to play it up the wall, and it's going to be intercepted there. Picked up by Savino and played to Dosen, who has a goal. Over the line, Dosen throws it across, and it sailed past Kickoffel. It goes behind the net now. And around to the far side, 9.5 minutes to go, and the Raiders unable to get out of their zone. Here's a centering pass. Kickoffel is bowled over as he tried to turn and shoot in front of the net. Now Kickoffel throws the body, and the puck picked up by the Raiders, and out they come. It's shot on in by Scanlon. As Magosi sets it up behind the goal. Cleared to the line, but not out. Centering pass, bounding puck. Sharp angle shot, winds up skittering through to the near side. And here's Dosen playing it out to center. Jamison there, holding it for the Raiders. Trying to find Fisher, puck bouncing. Jamison plays it down, and over the line, Cantwell had it poke checked away. And Cernahouse backs over to the right side and then shoots it in. Double team there, and that winds up putting Cardenas almost into the St. Thomas bench. And Jamison picks it up at the red line. Here he comes, Colton Jamison, and he is double teamed in against the wall and goes down. Now the Raiders center the shot, and Fisher put it wide again.
Oh, he's had a couple beauty chances here in this period.
Here's Lepai centering. Fisher shoots once, twice, and a rebound comes on out to center. Good pressure here by the Raiders, but again, just not able to score. They are outshot 24-21, but if you count shots between the dots, Mike, I think it's not terribly close.
Well, there's been some glorious chances by Cretin-Derham Hall, and the story, at least for now, is their inability to make those count.
And now here come the Raiders. Played on in and a save made, and now a little swipe there as Simon Hogue came through and got a little too close to Magosi. We're going to take a timeout here. 90 seconds, it's 3-1 here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
It's a very unique sport. I would say it has this blend of toughness and athleticism, but by and large, really creativity. You have lots of great athletes, but you don't have lots of great hockey players, and the biggest separator is what they call hockey IQ or intelligence, and that's the ability to really process information quickly, make decisions.
IT band, patellofemoral, stress fractures, and plantar fasciitis are probably the biggest running issues that we see. And I think that depending on the runner, if it's someone who's a really seasoned runner, who's been a runner their whole life, it could be as simple as a shoe change, and that's enough of a subtle difference for them. Or they change distances. I used to be more of a 10K half marathon person, now I want to be a marathoner. And a lot of people just do too much too soon. I think overuse is a big thing.
Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
7:55 to go. Face off to the right of the St. Thomas Academy goal. Somweber is on for Cretin-Derham Hall. And Sylvester Lepai is out there as well. Puck down and goes back behind the net. Kurtz, rink wides one, is going to go the length, and that'll be icing on the St. Thomas Academy with 7:45 to play.
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to Cretin-Derham Hall because they haven't laid down. They just continue to pressure, and they've been getting a lion's share of the goal-scoring chances in this period, especially in the latter half here.
Puck loose in front and finally cleared off the boards, but held by Hogue at the right point. Plays it down, and now Tommy Cronin rings it around behind the net. Puck lying loose, another chance to save in tight on Somweber. Good chance there, and Magosi now a partial break down the wing. Tommy Cronin shooting, and that is knocked away by Miller behind the net. So good chances at both ends in a 25-second span. Now the Raiders get the puck in their own zone, and they will lug it back out with 7:15 to go. And this is Hogue over the line. Hogue looking to center it. It comes all the way through to the right. And that was Patch Cronin with a hit that wound up knocking Somweber down. And that's icing on the Cadets.
Well, right now, St. Thomas just trying to play good defense, and they keep hoisting the puck down the ice for icing calls, but they're just trying to alleviate that pressure a little bit. That Cretin-Derham Hall continues to employ in this period.
Well, if you got nothing to do on the night of December 22nd, that's when these teams meet again at Highland.
Yeah.
It might be a fun night there, too. And over the line comes Will Dosen. He threw it across, nobody home. And Tashney after it. He plays it behind the net, and the Cadets will hold the offensive zone for a little time here. Off to the right corner, bouncing puck, 6:40 to go. And now here come the Raiders to center ice. Attila Lepai over the line, tries to cut to the slot, and found his path blocked by a couple of white shirts. Cardenas in to help, and now played down with the glove by Tashney. He's over the line, and then he can't by the defender, and now picked up by Ganetz to Fisher. Over the line, Fisher threw it across on the right for Devin Cardenas, now goes behind the net, and here's Lepai in the corner, behind the goal to Fisher, had to put it in front, it's loose, follow-up shot goes behind, and Attila Lepai after it, along the near boards, they crash in against the wall, it's picked up by St. Thomas Academy's Avery Buckner, a freshman, he comes in over the line, he's stripped away at the last moment, and with 6 minutes to go, they clear to the line. It runs along the line. And here's Fisher. Over the line, held up by Burns. And now the puck cleared out to center by the Cadets and back into the zone. And Cernahouse goes after it. St. Thomas Academy getting a change time, a real factor now with less than 6 minutes left. Cernahouse, a pass to the left. And Nate Charlton at center. And now played back into the Raiders' end. And just chip it deep and keep it there as long as you can, I reckon. And there's a hit thrown by Kurtz along the boards. Fed down, Howard. He goes around behind the net. Howard comes out the near side, drops to Faith at the point, and that shot sails wide. Long rebound, and Max Anderson after it. He banks it ahead. And puck is cleared to center ice. Tommy Cronin over the line. Howard fires, and he missed the net. Long rebound, and the puck bouncing around. Now the Raiders play at the center. That's got to be interference, and it is. As Howard and Colton Jamieson come together. The power play coming with 5 minutes and 1 second to play, and heading to the penalty box is Tommy Kurtz.
Well, whether you're forechecking hard or transitioning hard, you can draw penalties, and that was a good play off the boards that drew that penalty.
Well, another, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's here. I know what you're going to say. Opportunity. I'll tell you what, it's come plenty of times for Cretin.
We've worked together 2.5 periods, and you can already read my mind.
That's scary, isn't it?
It sure is. Face off to the left of the goal, and the Raiders get control. Here's Hogue waiting. Now feeds it over to the right side. Fisher, top of the circle, fires. Oh, it comes off. 2 players in front, and Karam's wide. And now the Raiders play off to the right side. Cardenas will come over the line, 1:40 in the power play. Plays it around to Fisher on the half wall. Fisher trying to use his feet there, and he kicks it back to Hogue over to the far side. Here's a chance, a shot, a save, a rebound is batted down in front. The initial shot from Hogue was stopped by Magosi, and the defense did the rest. 1:20 to go on the power play. Here come the Raiders. Hogue left the drop pass. Fisher comes in over the line, caught him flat-footed. Fisher now into the near corner. Drops it to Hogue, back to Fisher, back to Hogue. Works to the slot, feeds to the far side. Centering pass, Lepai. Fisher closes, scores! Jake Fisher, a power play goal with 3:58 to go, and it's game on.
Well, you almost knew that Fisher wasn't going to be denied anymore. I mean, just too many good chances on a guy like that. He's going to score. And that was a well-placed puck. Good patience, set it up, found a hole, and put it home. And that's why it's a rivalry game. What a nice play here. again, on the delayed entry, get the puck down deep, and then go to work. And move the puck around nicely until Fisher was able to get it all alone in front of the net. And again, a nice east-west play here.
Puck goes out of play, and now with 3:47 to go, I think this is where we get our second timeout, isn't it? Yes, we'll get a television timeout. That's us. 90 seconds. It's 3-2 here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
The get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
Generally speaking, water is a better fluid to use to rehydrate with. A big part of the importance of hydration is hydrating before the race rather than during the race. So, the hydration before a long distance race in particular really starts the day before the race, probably those 24 to 36 hours before the race to be completely hydrated.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
3-2 the score, 3:47 to go in the third period. We got a live one here at our first Friday night ice of the season, or ever for that matter, here on the Youth Hockey Hub. And the Raiders get possession, pass to the left and over the line. Nate Charlton threw it across and Owens couldn't get to it. Now picked up at center by Camden, and that pass is blocked out by Charlton. And now picked up by Camden on the far side. He stood up, puck comes back into the Raiders' end with 3:20 to go. They're getting a change, and now the Raiders at center. They get to the center line and will play it on in through Max Anderson. And now a giveaway. Raiders gain possession in the zone. And a centering pass goes behind the net. Owens after it along the near side. And that's going to be intercepted and laid out to center ice. Picked up there by Aiden Siegfried. Under 3 minutes left. Pass for Fisher in the center circle. He couldn't control it. And now Jamison knocks it out of the air, but right onto the stick of Dosen. And then it goes back behind the net. Raiders get it. And the Cadets are changing over the line. Jamison with a full head of steam. Drop pass and a drive by Fisher. Missed by about 6 inches. And the shot comes all the way back into the Raiders' end. 2.5 to go. Pass too far for Fisher, and that'll be icing. No, it won't. They wave it off. Back behind the goal is Patch Cronin feeding the far side, and it comes out. Hogue will chase it down with 2:20 left. Fisher over the line. Fisher trying to put a move on, and then he lost it, clear to the near side, and here's Will Dosen. Sean Burns standing up to him that time as the two 18s met with plenty at stake. 2:06 to go, and here comes Cretin-Derham Hall passing alongside of Fisher. That will be icing on Cretin-Derham Hall with exactly 2 minutes left. Shots are 25-24 for St. Thomas Academy.
It's been a well-fought game, I got to tell you. It's, the game has been on a lot of sticks for both teams.
Yes.
So the opportunities are there, and that's always good to see.
And Cretin-Derham Hall takes its timeout now with 2 minutes to go. You got to wonder, because the pace this game is going, really, if they get a chance to take another one where there was meaningful time left. But we're playing this game in 90-second, 2-minute hunks without a stoppage.
There's been some there's good legs in this game, I'll tell you. There's been a lot of speed, and that's on top of some good physical play as well. Usually when you have a really physical game, the speed goes down a little bit, and these guys have found a way to jump around some of these checks.
Just think, we only got 3 more of these to go.
Well, I already can't wait.
A fun night, no question about it. Our first game here today, by the way, won 5-2 by Lakeville South over Chaska. And we have 2 more games tomorrow here at the opener. I'll not have the pleasure of your company, but I'll have games anyway tomorrow.
Well, enjoy, because this is top-notch hockey, I got to tell you. The hockey sense in these young fellas, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Good stuff. 2 minutes left, and a face-off coming to the left of the St. Thomas Academy, or the Cretin-Derham Hall goal, excuse me. Mike Greenlay, Jeff Papers with you as we wait to see if there's a tying goal here someplace. And the face-off is won by Fisher. Played around on the near side, giveaway in front, and a save made as Camden took the shot. It was at the defender that blocked it. I think it was a slide block.
It was, yeah, Hogue with a 2-pad slide there. It was very nicely executed.
1:40 to go, play in the Cretin-Derham Hall end. And I think they're going to stand or fall with the 5 they've got. Right now, here comes Fisher. He's over the line. Fisher tries to take a shot that doesn't get through. Lapine with the drop for Hogue. Goaltender is off. And the puck is picked up by Cronin, and he can't control it. Now back come the Raiders. Jamison plays it in at 6 against 5 with a minute 18 to go. Lapine looking to center, and he couldn't get one through. Long play all the way down the ice, and that'll be icing on St. Thomas Academy with a minute 10 to go. It's only opening night, too. We got 4 months of this coming up. Face off to the left. Tyler Magosi. Face off win for the Raiders. Cernahouse blazes wide, rebound off the goaltender, and it's under his pads. Oh, the carom came off the end wall and hit Magosi, and he had the presence of mind to close the pads, and he saves the tie.
Well, those are the kind that can give you nightmares. Comes off the lower rim of the boards, and boy, did that kick.
Cernahouse throwing it across. Last minute of play. Lapie after it. Attila Lapie behind the net. Puts on the break. Centers it. And Fisher had a poke at it. Clay to the left point. Hogue can't hold it in. And it comes back with 48 seconds to go. Now Fisher can't control. Dosen takes a shot at the empty net. He scores! Will Dosen, his second goal of the game with 41 seconds left. And St. Thomas Academy looks like they're going to hang on by the skin of their teeth. It's 4-2. (16-12), empty net goal.
Well, they just couldn't keep the puck deep. And just a quick spin around feet out front, and then just a bouncing puck. They could not support it.
35 seconds to play. And now the Raiders have it. Ganetz feeds it over with 25 seconds to play. And he shoots it on in rink wide. Cantwell goes after it with 20 seconds to go. These teams meet again on the 22nd of December at Highland Arena. Should be a good rematch as an icing call against the Cadets with 12 seconds to go. Bring it all the way back.
Well, the 4-2 score belies the real game, because this could have been 4-2 the other way as well.
Or 4-4.
Yeah, it could have been.
Or 6-6.
It could have been anything.
10 seconds to go. Play is in the right corner of the cadet zone, and now it's cleared all the way down the ice, and that is going to do it. And we have an altercation back in the St. Thomas Academy zone. Bodies flying. And the goaltender's water bottle, I think it was. Looked like somebody throwing it from the bench, but that's the goalie's water bottle. And with 1 second to go, There's still 1 second on the clock, but the players are coming out for handshakes. Now they run the second off, and the game is over. And St. Thomas Academy wins it by a score of 4-2. They have 6 shots in the third period for a game total of 26. Cretin-Derham Hall 11 for a game total of 25. And Mike, your thoughts?
Well, St. Thomas Academy, I think, runs it to now 9 straight victories against Cretin-Derham Hall going back to 2014. So you mentioned, though, the opportunity to break the streak is only a few weeks away. But for now, a very hard-fought game, and I'll say this all day long. This game could have flip-flopped the other way. It could have been a tie. It could have been all kinds of things, because Cretin-Derham Hall had a lot of opportunities, and they just weren't able to finish them.
We are awaiting Peter Odney here and interview with the player of the game when the handshakes are done. Very hard fought, very well played, very good skill level, everything you want in an opening game.
Well, I mean, both coaches said what they wanted to see out of this game was a great effort, lots of energy. They both got that.
Yes.
And they got a good read on what they really have on their bench. So I think both these teams have a heck of a lot there in the engine.
And you see the two coaches, the last ones to talk to the officials. And now they will congratulate each other as they head off. And Peter Odney is down on the ice now with Will Dolson, 2-goal scorer tonight, and he's the player of the game. Take it away, sir.
Well, we've got player of the game, Will Dolson here from St. Thomas Academy, as the Cadets are victorious over Cretin-Derham Hall 4-2. Will, you're a Bloomington native. I know Grandma and Grandpa are here from Evelyn. What's it like to put on a show in front of your friends and family?
It was fun. I wasn't expecting that, but the adrenaline leading up to the game just got me going. So.
Well, this game is bigger than almost any other against the rival Cretin-Derham Hall. What's it feel like to send them home packing 9 games in a row?
Felt great. I mean, there's nothing really else to say.
No. Nothing really else to say. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Our player of the game, Will Dolson, 2 goals and an assist. St. Thomas Academy over Cretin-Derham Hall, 4-2. Throwing it back up to you in the booth.
All right, thanks very much. And 4-2, the final score, and opening night, it should be like this all the time.
And I think that's the whole theme behind Friday Night Ice is to take the best rivalry games that we can muster up and give them to you, because this is what hockey's all about right here, a hard-fought game, and it was just great to see.
We'll put you on a spot here. Like, put yourself in Cretin's locker room at this point, okay, where they played the kind of third period that you know Matt Funk wanted them to play, and it still wasn't enough. Is this a lesson learned? Yes, it's the opening game, but it's still a loss against a rival, against kind of a hoodoo team. You know, how do you react if you're them?
Well, I can answer that question from both coaches' perspective, because we asked them, you know, this is a rivalry game. This is a game that either breaks the streak or keeps it going, and so on and so forth. And both coaches, to their credit, just said, listen, we don't want to get expectations so high about this one game, because it's the first game of the season, first of all, but it is also one game. We don't want to get expectations so high that if we do lose the game, then the players are hanging their heads for weeks. I mean, we want to see certain things from these players, and we want to see a hard-fought, well-played game, and hopefully we come out on top. But it's not going to be, if we don't get the 2 points, then it's all failed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a good mentality to keep, especially with young players, because, this is another game. Now you forget about this one, whether you won or lost, and you move on to the next one. And I think that's the theme behind these coaches. And that, these are two grizzled veteran coaches, so you don't become that way unless you've seen this situation time and time again.
One game doesn't define you, but it can certainly show what you've got.
Yeah, and I think both teams got to be happy with what they have under the hood.
I would think we're going to see St. Thomas Academy tomorrow against Duluth East, and then Chaska against Lakeville North to wrap up the opener this week. We'll have both those games for you tomorrow here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Mike, a pleasure.
Always. Thank you.
All right.
I look forward to it.
They're going to be fun. We'll sign off for tonight for our entire cast and crew of thousands here at Bloomington Ice Garden. For Mike Greenlay, Jeff Pappas, thanks for watching. Final score tonight, St. Thomas Academy 4, Cretin-Derham Hall 2. This is Friday Night Ice here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
The get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
But from the get-go,
Welcome back to the Friday Night Ice post-game show. Allie Mosley here with Tony Scott. Tony, St. Thomas, they were up 3-0 at the beginning of this third period. Then finally, Cretin gets on the board, 2 goals, but they just weren't able to close this out. 9 straight losses to St. Thomas.
You know, it was the script in reverse now. Cretin had gotten up in his last 2 times at Bloomington Ice Garden, and St. Thomas did it this time. And Cretin almost made the comeback. Fisher scores on the power play late in the third, and a couple good chances with the goalie pulled, but just not enough for the Raiders.
And let's talk about some of those goals. The third one for St. Thomas came by number 14 senior forward Tommy Cronin, Mr. Hockey candidate, possibly.
And he definitely proved that tonight. And what a cool moment. His brother got to start beside him tonight and get an assist on his first goal, so that he got his first varsity point with an assist to his brother. So shout out to Patch and Tommy, and their parents probably pretty proud too.
Pretty proud, all in the family, gotta love that. Then just a few minutes later, Cretin finally on the board with a goal by senior forward Antilla Lipai. Attila.
All right.
For the love of
yeah. Oh my gosh, he's got a brother.
He's got a great name. It is a great name. Then with 3:58 left in the period, Cretin scores finally again, making it 3-2. This time by senior forward Jake Fisher.
Beautiful goal on the power play. They worked the power play. They got it into the cookie jar, and Fisher made it happen. Just top shelf, nothing Makosi could do about it.
St. Thomas ends up scoring on an empty net to close out the game 4-2. Is this how we saw the game going?
I did. I kind of saw this happening, and what a cool story. Will Doshin just interviewed with Peter Odden. Lives here in Bloomington, grew up in this rink, and he's got his cousins here watching. He's got probably cousins watching. He's got a cousin Joey and Luke who are out, and Logan are out at West Point right now watching. So I'm sure they're very proud of their cousin Will.
You know, we are not done yet, Tony. After the break, we are going to be back with scores from across the state, high school and college.
A force for good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot Generally, the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and develop pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back to your Friday Night Ice post-game show. Tony, Cretin taking down St. Thomas Academy tonight, 4-2. But let's take a look at some scores across the state. We're going to start with some youth hockey games.
There's tournaments everywhere, including here at Bloomington Ice
Hey, it's hockey season. It's go time. Woodbury taking down Chaskatchan tonight, 5-2.
And Woodbury lost to Chaskatchan in the Big Pumpkin a couple of weeks ago. They avenged that loss, so I'm excited for the Predators on that one.
Then Minnetonka takes down Matamidi, 6-2 in that one.
Big Pumpkin champions, Minnetonka, keep rolling. They'll face Moorhead tomorrow, so that's a huge game. It's basically 1 versus 2 over in Eden Prairie.
Absolutely. Then we've got Edina versus Wayzata, our only tie of the night, 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. May Fitzgerald got the game-tying goal for the Hornets this morning over at Braemar.
And for our last youth matchup, Minnetonka took down Woodbury tonight, 3-2 in a close one.
Really good 15A, really good game, 2 top 10 teams. Evelyn Lundeen had the big goal for the Skippers today.
Very nice. For boys high school hockey tonight, Lakeville South took down Chaska, winning 5-2.
Right here in the building. We talked about it earlier today. Lakeville South gets production from their seniors. Willis, Doms, and Lafferty each had a goal and assist for the Cougars.
Then Andover really takes it to Chanhassen tonight.
Preseason number 1.
Winning 6-3.
And guess what? Mr. Hockey finalist, maybe winner, Gavin Thorson had 2 goals for the Huskies.
All right, and then wrapping up boys high school hockey, Maple Grove takes down Edina. Are we surprised?
A little bit, but not a lot. You know, they were in the state final last year. They win 2-0 over Hornets. I'm hearing the Hornets are really banged up. They got 4 or 5 players are out tonight, so not a lot. You can learn a lot from that game.
The season is young.
Luke Margano and Blake Steenerson had goals for the Crimson.
Not bad. Then for girls high school hockey, just one score in for us today. Dodge County winning over Marshall, 3-1.
You're a 507 girl. You should know where Dodge County is. You said earlier you didn't know where it was. Dodge County is a combination of schools: Casson, Manterville, Dodge Center. They're all a bunch of schools down there. Good squad this year. They're playing Class A. Bryn Spreeder had the game winner for the Wildcats.
Very nice. Then just on the college front, Michigan Tech taking down Minnesota State Mankato 3-2.
It's a good win, Mankato, you know, in the Frozen Four last year. Huskies are on a roll. Kyle Kukkonen, a local Maple Grove kid, with a goal and assist for the Huskies in that 3-2 win.
Last one on our scoreboard tonight, Minnesota Golden Gophers taking down Penn State. Big win, 5-1.
5-1. Local girl, another 507 girl. Taylor Heisey had a goal and assist. She's from Lake City, Minnesota. Patty Kazmaier, winner for them. Big win for the Gophers down in Las Vegas.
All right, Tony, when we come back, we are going to be breaking down more of what's to come for Friday Night Ice the rest of this year.
That was good.
That good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot Generally, the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
All right, Tony, as we look ahead, the first game of the season isn't always indicative of how a whole season's going to go. So, but what we saw here tonight and what we know within these two teams, what do we see as we look ahead for Cretin and St. Thomas?
Well, obviously St. Thomas is a little further ahead than we thought. I talked about how athletic and skilled their team would be. How could they click with Coach Randolph in just a short amount of time? And then obviously we saw a lot of good things out of Cretin as well. I think they'll build on it. They're both positive coaches. I think that we're going to see these teams in the section final in this section, maybe Eastview too, but I think this is a lot of good things coming. They play December 22nd, so it's just literally 3 weeks away when they're going to clash again.
Tony, talking about clash, you and I didn't clash too much. We did okay. How'd this first broadcast go? Friday Night Ice, a lot of production and crew went into this. A lot of sponsors, a lot of hard work, weeks, months, years of planning. What are your thoughts?
I'm really excited about this product and how it turned out. Tonight was fantastic. A few kinks we're working through, but for the most part, we had a full building. We had a 1-goal game until the empty netter by Doshin. The fans were good. The production was fantastic. I'm the happiest guy in the rink still.
I think it went really, really well, Tony. This is really fun and just a great opportunity, again, like we've discussed, for the players, the teams, the schools, the communities, and for the family and friends watching back home who weren't able to get into a jam-packed arena. But that is not all we have. We have more to come with Friday Night Ice for the rest of this season. We've got more matchups. We are going to see you again Friday, January 6th in Duluth with Duluth East versus Grand Rapids. Then Friday...
And they got rappers on their team, too.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Fair enough. Friday, January 13th, we're going to be back here at the Garden for a doubleheader versus Mankato East versus Mankato West.
Your alma mater.
My alma mater. Yep. I'll be impartial.
You'll be wearing red, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then Mankato East girls will be playing Apple Valley girls hockey. So that'll be a great doubleheader for that night.
AA game. I'm excited for that.
Absolutely. Then in our Friday Night Ice finale, Friday, February 3rd, we have 2 preseason top 5 teams in Maple Grove versus Rogers right back here again at Bloomington Ice Garden. A huge thank you, Tony, to our sponsors, to our crew tonight. Again, I am Allie Mosley for Tony Scott. We will see you in January for more Friday Night Ice.
Sports for Good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot. Generally, the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.